Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about a second passion of mine, which is all things skincare. Why? Because getting it right can keep working for you, it can deliver fantastic results and make you feel your best confident self yet, so you can put your best self into everything you do. So on that note, we're talking about a brand which I absolutely love and is very, very dear to my heart, and that is NIVEA. But today we're talking about a product which is NIVEA for Men, and this is the Anti-Age Power Serum 2-in-1 Anti-Dark Spots, plus reduces deep wrinkles with patented thiamidol and hyaluron young looking skin in just 2 weeks. So first things first, I am only 32 years of age sat in front of you, and I absolutely appreciate when I've done products for anti-aging for both men before, and of course products which can be used by women as well. People have said to me, why on earth are you using it? It's not for your age category, it's for when you're older and when you've gone further through in life with your skincare. However, I do explore with anti-aging ingredients because what I love about them is quite often that they pack a punch in terms of putting energy and vitality back into the skin. Why? So I manage a number of health issues and I don't sleep particularly well quite a lot of the time. And what happens is I get a lot of darkness around here, quite sallow skin, almost like that I haven't been to sleep, even though sometimes when I've had maybe a bit of a difficult time, or maybe I've gone through something where I've not been feeling particularly well for a couple of days, but yet maybe we were doing some recording, or maybe I need to go into the office, or one thing or another, or maybe you want to look your best for something what's going on in your life. So that's me, and I often find that an anti-aging product, often from NIVEA or other brands which I enjoy to try, they will really boost energy, they will really awaken the skin, and any added bonus of anti-aging effects, as prevention, my friends, is always better than cure, then I really do love and enjoy to try these products. So that's a little bit of the backstory of why I do review these sorts of products on my channel. Okay, so let's just jump straight into it. So NIVEA Men Anti-Age Power Serum. So it's a serum, of course. So difference between a serum and a moisturizer. Often, a serum often has a higher concentration of ingredients, but can be lighter. So a little bit more of a lighter, more of a fluid texture. So it absorbs into the skin a lot more quicker, a lot more easier, and can often be less heavy in terms of sometimes what a moisturizer can be. So this serum in terms of texture is ultra light. It's very, you don't necessarily notice that you've got the product there at all. It dries very, very quickly, and does it deliver results? And that's what we're going to talk about. But first, let's jump back a little bit in terms of price. So it is more on the higher end on a high street product such as NIVEA for Men. And of course, that's not to say that it's not a great product or it's a bad product. This is simply just saying that you can purchase this one on the high street, you can purchase this one online as well, but the price does vary considerably, and that's why I wanted to make a note of this. So I think this retails at around about the £25 mark, and when it first came out, it was suggested a little bit higher than that, I believe, as well. So I've bought this 3 times, and each time it has been on offer. So if it's not on offer, I would kind of shop around and just be careful in terms of price, because I think I've paid £12.99 for this, and then around about £10, and then recently around £10. I often buy a lot of my products here in the UK from Boots here on the high street, which admittedly can sometimes be a little bit dearer, and if I don't buy it there, it's Amazon here in the UK, of course, as well online. The thing I would just note is that there is a moisturising product and there are other products in this range as well. So there's lots to kind of explore. And of course, the NIVEA Men's range, there's lots of face products, there's shaving products in one thing or another as well. So quite a wide, versatile range. But however, this one, so Anti-Age Power Serum, anti-dark spots and reduces deep wrinkles. Let's talk about that now. So for me, I have been absolutely blessed to travel to some incredible places across the globe, and I've had some amazing stunning holidays. I'm 32 years of age, and yes, I do have sun spots. I do have sun damage in places where I've been a little bit excessive in the sun. I've got a couple just under my eye, which you can't necessarily see here, but much more so on my shoulders. Now, I did a couple of times use this because I wanted to try to reduce that. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. And so for anybody who is experiencing elements of sun damage or elements of skin pigmentation by the sun, so those slightly brown coloured spots, patches, which sometimes can be quite bothersome, and I'm going to say sometimes because for everybody it might not bother them at all, and of course it doesn't have to at all, absolutely. You are you, and as I always say, there's only one of you in this world, and that alone makes you simply incredible. So it sounds a little bit cheesy, but it's true, so never forget that. So this product So it's said to reduce dark spots. It's said to reduce deep wrinkles. Now, okay, I don't have deep wrinkles, but prevention is better than cure. So opening the box, okay, and let's show you here. So this one is actually empty now, but it's a screw top cap. So quite a fancy packaging, and then you get like this little pump action here, and then it dispenses the amount which you need, which is really quite kind of cool and very, very helpful. So let's tell you a little bit more about it on the back here. So it's got patented thiamidol in here, which is, I believe, is the patented ingredient which will work on the pigmentation, therefore reducing the that cycle of creating the dark patches. So it's that ingredient is said to reduce that. So over time, and of course, younger looking skin in just 2 weeks. So it says here, after 10 years of research and testing of more than 50,000 molecules, NIVEA found and patented the highly effective thiamidol ingredient that visibly reduces dark spots and prevents their reappearance. Okay, so on the back here it says ultra light, which it absolutely is, and super fast absorbing, again, which it absolutely is. The ultra light and super fast absorbing formula, specially created for male skin, provides 24 hours of moisture to the skin, and the highest thiamidol concentration in NIVEA Men Anti Age Hyaluron range, recommended by men. And it says here, 94% of men confirmed visible reduction of dark spots. Okay. So on the back, just read you a little bit more. Effective formula NIVEA Men Power Serum combines hyaluron with the patented anti-pigment ingredient thiamidol, providing advanced dark spot reduction and anti-age effect. Okay, so anti-age, anti-dark spots, reduce spot size and intensity. Okay, younger looking skin in just 2 weeks. So we know it's got apparently the highest thiamidol concentration in here, and it's got a diagram, and I'll be honest, it's got a picture here which says before, okay, and after, so proven continuous benefits. The product visibly reduces the appearance of dark spots, and this is a self-assessment over 12 weeks. Based on 34 men based back in 2022. Now for me, there is the most minute discoloration on the before, and then on the after, apparently it's disappeared. I'm not 100% happy with that diagram. You can't necessarily even see it. It doesn't show up on my camera here. But even when you buy it, you're sort of like moving the box back and forth because it's slightly metallic packaging, and you can barely see it. So on that basis, I'm not particularly very pleased as a consumer to see here that you've chosen a before picture of a very, very minute pigmentation change. The after, it's disappeared, and you can, if you hold it back, you can only slightly see it there. So for myself, I've got a few light sort of areas of colour change up here, which is from the sun, and I wanted to use this product to see if there was any changes. It doesn't bother me, but it's just something which I'm always looking out for products on my channel to bring new ideas and to talk about new products. So I wanted to try this for myself and to see if it would have an effect here. I'll be honest with you, I used this back in the summer a couple of weeks, I'd say about 3 weeks in August, okay? Morning and night, it's only 30 mils, it doesn't last very long at all. Used that one, and I'll be honest, I actually thought it was quite expensive, even though it was on offer for the product, because I didn't find it very moisturising. However, when I first used it, first thing in the morning after shaving, it seemed to really soothe my skin, and I know it's not for that. And my subscribers will know that shaving I struggle with, and I get quite an irritation. But this calmed my skin, and I liked how it seemed to not go tight on the skin, but it seemed to give a plumping effect, and almost like a covering across the skin, which made my skin feel energized, alive, and awake, which I really, really liked. However, the downfall on that, I think when I'm sort of getting myself ready in the morning, it's around about sometimes before 6 o'clock. So I'm putting the product on then, and then if I'm removing the product, it's probably around about, again, 6 or 7, maybe 8, maybe later in the evening. There were a couple of instances where I found that throughout the day the product dries and it almost looks like, if you've ever used PVA glue in crafting or what have you, and you've put it on your skin and that peeling, it started to peel. So I had that under my eye, I had that under across my forehead and on the jawline. So not a very pleasant look. So on that basis, I left it. I left it for a couple of weeks and I purchased it again when it was on offer, and I thought that I wouldn't yet bring it to the channel and use it again. Same thing sort of happened, but again I didn't find it very moisturising, and by this time I was starting to have quite a sore lip, and it was almost just like there's something in there was agitating and making my lip quite sore. both top and bottom, really quite uncomfortable, but yet I liked that sort of nice freshness, that almost feeling of energy, and really almost not a shine, but that wellness. Well, I think that I battle kind of some pretty nasty days sometimes managing a number of health issues, not feeling great and wanting to look great. So the moisturiser for me, putting it on in the morning, would make my skin look how I wanted it, how I wanted to feel. So really, really nice. And again, I could kind of bear by the end of the day the skin kind of drying out because I knew that the ingredients in there were working on my skin. At night I would use it, however still it wasn't really very moisturising enough for me, I'll be quite honest. So I like the product, but however when it says on here ultra moisturising, it is ultra light, absolutely, and it does feel very air-like texture when you use it, but it's not very moisturising. And I do find when I use this, and this is the third one now and I've just finished this again, but each time I've had a couple of weeks break in between. But strangely enough, using this again, and the last couple of nights I've used this, and then I had a break in prior to that, I was using it the previous nights to that, but my top of my lip is really flared up again, and you can probably tell, even in the clip, it looks quite sore, and it feels sore. So what I'm having to use, and I'm going to be stopping this now, and I probably won't purchase this one again on that basis, and I do note that in some of the reviews that there are a number of people which have had skin irritation. I don't get the irritation on my face or anything, but it seems to play my lip up, and I know people would probably think straight away, well, just keep it away from that. And I do try to, but of course when you're putting it through your palms and across your face, sometimes just the way our skin sort of lives and breathes, products move, and it seems to agitate my lips. So what I'm finding is, and I really love this, if with a cold weather or anything plays your mouth up or anything like that at all, by Neutrogena, the Norwegian formula for lips, dry, chapped lips. So I'm having to use this because it's almost like that it's giving me like a chapped skin across the top of my lip. So I don't know if it's a reaction. I've had it each time though, that's the thing. I don't think I had it firstly when I started using it, but I've certainly got a bit of a flare-up of it again. So not particularly pleased with that. Slightly disappointed. Nivea, as I say, very dear to my heart. I love the product, was brought up on Nivea, absolutely love Nivea products for both, which Nivea products can be used for both men and women, and men's skincare from Nivea I absolutely love as well, and their deodorant product and one thing and another, and shower gels, love all of that. But for me, yes, I would recommend it, but please approach with caution because yes, it plumps the skin, yes, it energizes the skin. I don't know necessarily if it would reduce wrinkles. The reviews look absolutely incredible on somewhere like Amazon and online. But for me, I found that by the end of the day, yes, in the morning it looked great, but when the product dries out, it seemed to almost give me fine lines. So yes, it works initially, but I think there must be sort of a time period. Like for me, I've had it on my face 6 hours when we get to 12 o'clock. So then say again another 6 hours, and if you were going out in the evening, you wouldn't really want like this peeling skin effect. And it's not major, but you can tell. And a couple of my family members picked up on it, almost like that I had something on my face. And actually, when I went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror, you could tell it was the moisturiser which was drying out. So a good product, one of which delivers, but I would say partially. So yes, it does make skin more youthful. In 2 weeks, no. I don't see that it's a permanent effect. I see that it is an effect which when you first put it on, for that initial period, it works great. But for me, it does tend to dry out and it can be quite agitating on the lip area. So anywhere else, fine. But for me, as you can even probably see, it's quite sore. It's quite uncomfortable today. But it is a great product in terms of that, yes, when you first put it on, great product delivers. And again, from the shaving area, for me, it really calmed everything down there. So it's strange why I should get this effect across my lips. But yet, I love that it makes the skin feel fresh, as I say, energised first thing in the morning. But it's almost like that it does wear off. So a great all-round product. I think, would I pay up to £25 for it? No. £10? Yes. But however, just approach with caution. For me, if you were using it and you had maybe deep-set wrinkles, maybe you really want to reverse the signs of ageing, just approach that with caution. I think please, please, please just have a realistic view and expectation on it as well, because I love Nivea, and this is quite a claim, younger looking skin within 2 weeks. I would probably say that you'd have to use it nearly 2 months to be able to see that cumulative effect of anti-aging. So I do like the product and I have enjoyed using it, but just a bit bothered by the agitation across my lip. And as I say, it's not major, but it is slightly uncomfortable, to the point where I'm having to use like a lip balm to be able to counteract the uncomfortableness of it. But it is something I would recommend. So a very personal experience, very personal journey. For me, I'd say halfway there. A great product halfway there. For me, if it was more moisturising, I would absolutely 100% recommend it to everybody. But because it's not so moisturising, please just approach with caution, because if you have got sensitive skin, even though Thiamidol is a patented product in terms of pigmentation, reducing pigmentation in the skin and those dark spots, of course, it's no good if it's going to dry your skin out, and it's no good if you're going to have like this peeling skin effect either. And I know everybody's different. So from my experience, halfway there, but please do approach with caution. So on that note, I really do hope that you've enjoyed this clip. I certainly have. If you do have any questions or queries for me, please leave them down below. And on that note, thank you very much for joining me. And until next time, I look forward to your company then. Bye now.